Hey, what's up, Crown Nation? It's your girl Naima with my queens, Nefertari and Nafisa. What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hey. So, today we're going to be talking about supporting Black owned businesses, and we're going to be introducing you to a Black owned business called Yellow Bliss Co. So, as you all come in, make sure you give everyone the greetings. We have our special guests tonight. We have Miss Ola Muhammad and Nora O'Gara from Yellow Bliss Co. And they are going to share with us their roles and responsibilities in that organization and or company. And then we're also going to be sharing with you their website because if you want to know where the party's at, it's at Yellow Bliss Co. Okay, all right. So let's just start off in the beginning with asking ourselves, why should we support Black businesses? And generally, this question comes about because, we have the woke, the some woke, and then the pretend to be woke, right? And so when you say, oh, yeah, I support Black businesses, and you only bought from one Black store all year, okay? And so knowing that, we talk about circulating the dollars. We have all of these big companies that we have, and really these big companies bring a burden kind of to the African American and or minority businesses and communities. And so when you think about like Amazon, right? For example, Amazon's presence in Seattle caused rising housing costs, right? And pushed out a lot of the local mom and pop stores. And so what happens is like these businesses think, oh, I'm helping the community, but what you're also doing is causing a detriment to businesses that have maybe been in the neighborhood for a long period of time, but they don't have the resources. And as you know, with Black owned businesses, sometimes our price point is a little bit higher, and everybody's like, well, why don't they make that $4.95? Because the profit margin is not $4.95. Like the other companies can, of course, sell at a lower rate because the volume is there. So I kind of want to start off with closing the racial welfare gap or wealth gap. Okay. I know that when we talk about the wealth gap, it is, of course, African Americans and just everybody else. And so, what I have a tendency to say is that we are the richest people in the world. No, Nafisa and Anef and Daya have heard me say this all the time. And I say that because when reports come out and they say, hey, you amongst African Americans, they spend over $1.5 trillion. Well, you can't spend what you don't have. And so when we look at if we're spending that money, that means that we have the money. So we are rich, y'all. Woo! Okay. All we have to do now is reallocate those dollars. And really, it comes down to cents. Okay. Not the cents up here. And so I'm going to pass it off to Nefertari, who is going to talk about strengthening local economies by supporting Black owned businesses.
Thank you. Thank you. So we all know that it doesn't matter what community that you're from, that having small businesses in the area, in the community, actually strengthens the community. And so a lot of times, small businesses, especially minority businesses, we struggle a lot with building ourselves because a lot of times we need the funding. We need funding to be able to get it to where we want it to go and be able to get it out there where it can last. Because actually, we do start a lot of businesses, but we're not successful in keeping that business for between 2 years to 5 years. A lot of times, businesses get started and they're gone within that first year. So being able to get the funding, and a lot of times the discrimination is happening with the banks being able to get that funding when we need it. And so we just want to make sure that's something that you know that's a difference that needs to work, that needs to happen in order to be able for us to be able to be more productive in the community. And like you said, our dollars need to circulate more. We definitely have the money and we're spending it within our community. Outside of our community, I should say, we need to be spending those dollars with ourselves so that we can, have that strength in numbers to be able to make a difference in the world. So 70% of the economy is empowered by Black businesses, and so we definitely we just need to lock arms and connect, link by link by link, so that we can do this thing. Because I'm down. For me personally, I don't care what kind of business it is that whatever it is I'm trying to purchase. I'm generally looking for something that's Black owned, and when I can spend with us, it makes me feel really good about that.
Yeah, that's great, Nev, too. And also when you talk about to within the community, a lot of times you still have to be mindful too of the businesses that's in our community, because I know a lot of times if you're spending money in the community, it may not necessarily be a Black owned business just because it's in that physical community. You know what I mean? So we have to be mindful. And just because you see us as African Americans, when you walk in the door, that doesn't mean we own it, right?
That's
And
right.
so we have to be mindful of that as well, So, but with so many businesses going online, and even when you talk about businesses with your basic needs, so many of those businesses are going online as well. One of the things that businesses bring, and we mindful, is job creation, right? As small businesses employ more people than any other like one large business. We get caught up a lot of times when we hear these numbers about this company has 1,000 employees, but really small businesses are the ones that employ most employees when you think about small businesses as a group. And
Mhm.
particularly, when you think about the businesses that are usually in our community that are owned by Blacks, the barbershop, you might have restaurants, and that might be the first restaurant or the first job that your teenager worked at, that particular one. So we're able to hire more of our people, right? We're able to hire. So that's one thing. When we support Black businesses, then that helps them be able to hire. They have more funds and more resources to hire people within our community who, we may not necessarily have all the stringent rules that the other larger society has when it comes to employing people. We can give people, second, third, and fourth chances as need be. So that's one thing too that a lot of people don't think about when you think about supporting Black businesses. You're also supporting job growth in the Black
Absolutely.
business as well.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I just
Absolutely.
wanted to give that little tidbit on that.
Yes, I love that because again, it is up to us to make sure that we give our people the opportunities and the second and third or fourth chance. So yeah, cousin Rollo, he needs to come work at the bread store, you know what I'm saying? Because he made some mistakes. But again, you never know when that opportunity to turn someone's life around is going to happen when we're able to employ our own people. And that also kind of then goes into job celebrate supporting and promoting Black businesses also brings about the celebration of our culture. And this is something that as African American people, it's like we don't have a culture. Yes, we do. And it's on every single TV commercial that you see when you look on the TV. And so when we talk about us leading, we are the leaders when it comes to not only selling, we are the leaders when it also comes to spending, but we're also the leaders when it comes to influences. And so when you think of like TikTok and social media and all these other things, when you look at Kroger and they're talking about getting low on some groceries, okay, you are a cultural giant.
That's true.
Okay, that's all I'm going to get low, get low, get low. And then you have like all of these insurance companies, and you have like the Indian girl, she's doing the rap about, Rakuten and stuff. No, that is us leading that influence. And so when you start thinking
Yeah,
about, man, not only do we should do that amongst our own selves. So
yeah,
supporting Black businesses, man, it is we can always go further. And of course, you all know that I've worked with a company before that does 100% of supporting Black businesses. And again, there's so many different dichotomies when it comes to supporting Black businesses of like, who are the you can have a Black business that's owned by a Black person, but then we also need to reach deeper into are we the manufacturers? Are we the distributors of that Black business? And
Yeah.
so it's so many other opportunities that we can look into, and for our children to kind of think about, like, traditionally a lot of these children aren't necessarily going to college. I'm not saying everyone, but some of them are not going to college. And where can they really fit in? So I know a lot of young Black men that are under the age of 25. They have their own trucking companies that they develop, because again, we have to be the ones bringing that product to our businesses. So if you can imagine us saying, man, we got this from Africa, and then we had a shipping container that was owned by Blacks that came here. And then we had our Black brothers in New York with their shipping truck ship it to Atlanta, Dallas, Washington, D.C. And then that came into all of the different Black stores across all of these different cities. That's when we can say it's Black owned. Okay. So we just want to think about that and celebrate our culture inside of our efforts to support one another.
Yeah, and another thing, Naima, that gets back to our roots and our history. A lot of this stuff is not new. We've just lost touch with it, because that was a big Marcus Garvey was a big proponent of that, in terms of having a shipping company and bringing goods over, even during the time of the early times of the Nation of Islam. A lot of that was going straight to the source to get fish and stuff like that you normally sow, and to get the raw materials and things like that was used. So a lot of it is really getting back to our roots, what we used to do before integration. Right? And we started thinking it was greener on the other side. So now we need to just pull it back and say, no, we can get back to our roots and doing those same things that we used to do, and really relying on ourselves and supporting ourselves to really grow what it is that we're trying, to do and trying to accomplish. So that's great. And I'm looking forward to business that we have. It sounds so fun that you're going to
introduce. And
introduce.
speaking of greener on the other side, let's talk about the money. So now we're going into introducing you all to Yellow Bliss Co. All right, so ladies, you all go ahead and introduce yourselves. Tell us what you do with the company. And after you introduce yourselves and tell us what you do with the company, if you can tell us why you decided to do this specific company, because us Black people, we need a little bit of everything.
Nora, do you want me to start first, or you want to go?
Yes.
Okay, well, my name is Ola Mohammed, and I am the president and a co-founder of Yellow Bliss Co. And Susan, she's not here today, but she's the CEO of Yellow Bliss Co. And Yellow Bliss Co. pretty much is just a party in a box company. We like to call it an event in a box, because when you look at other party in a boxes, they don't necessarily offer all the things that you really need for a party. You still have to go out to different places to get whatever it is that you need. And so, being a mom myself, and I, if I'm starting a business, I'm going to think about what is actually useful to me. And what's useful to me is I don't want to have to go to 6 or 10 different places to put a party together. If any of you guys are mom, I know, Naima, you're a mom. I don't know about the other ladies. I know, Nora, you're a mom as well. I'm a mom. I have 3, so just think about when you had a party and how many for your child, or even just a party in general. How many places did you have to go? How long did it take you to put a party together? So just imagine if you actually had a truly a one-stop shop with quality items.
Yes.
That you can literally, you don't have time. We live in a microwave world, right? And nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time to go to different places. You know what I'm saying? But you want something unique, for your child or even for yourself. And you have a place where you can go to. You literally just, everything is curated for you. You click, it gets delivered to your door. We have been so meticulous in making sure that it takes you no time to set it up. You literally, all you have to do is, like the commercial, like I think the Burger King commercial, which once again, as you were talking about, our culture, you can have it any way you want. Just bring the water, just bring the food and drinks. That's literally all you need to do is bring the food and drinks. We set everything up for you just by a click of a button. So, like I said, microwave world, we have Amazon Prime right now. You were talking about Amazon. It's funny you're talking about that. So just think Amazon Prime. No, everybody, especially today, you can order something today and you want it right now, right? That's the world that we live in right now. And so we have to be strategic in making sure that we provide that type of offering in a Amazon Prime or Instacart world, pretty much. I thought it was really interesting when I want to go back to touch on a little bit on one of the things that you guys were discussing about small business owners, small businesses, their statistics. We are the backbone of the country. Right. Small businesses. We all know this. Then when we want to look at stats on female-owned Black businesses, there's the actual stats, and I wish it skips my mind, but there's a reliable source that talks about 2019. We have grown exponentially for female Black businesses. So I think it's true because here we are. Nora, she's a member. I am clearly, a Black woman as well, to launch something like this. And COVID had some good and some bad. It pushes you to either pivot or to improve or to think, okay, what do we do? And so we came at the right time to come up with this option, and the reality is all parties are small scale now. So, and this was meant for something you can do in your home, in your backyard, in your basement. Everything is set up. We have everything. If you go to our website, www.yellowblissco.com, everything is curated to perfection. I'm a creative director, so every design that you see, that's all on my, I'm the creative person, Yes. Nora is the money person. She can introduce herself. I want her to introduce herself, then we can, talk more about her role, in Yellow Bliss Co. But go ahead, Nora.
Okay, yeah, I tell you, it has been such a blessing to become a part of this diverse group of 6 individuals who have come together in regards to establishing a very diverse minority company and e-commerce business that is like none other. And like she had indicated, when you look at, I was in event planning and I had
This is the world, the wonderful world
that we live in. I know it's just really challenging. Yes, and I apologize. But yeah, so when I had the opportunity to become a part of Yellow Bliss Co. and looked at how COVID had really just destroyed my personal event business and everything, and wasn't getting a call, and then you have to look at how do you pivot? How do you pivot and then keep yourself as a viable business resource because you still have the talents and abilities and desire to want to deliver to customers. And so from that perspective, when I had the opportunity and it was presented to me by Susan, who is the other partner in this business, to come on board. And what was so beautiful about it is that we brought in our own specialized talents and abilities. So we didn't have to go out and source with people that we didn't know. We actually found the people, and everybody in Yellow Bliss Co. have the specialization that is needed for us to be able to operate in. And I think that's another value proposition. So often we are stereotyped about, well, yeah, you got the qualifications, but you lack this, or you got the skills, but you lack the qualification. No, in this business, in Yellow Bliss Co., we all are providing our specialized skill, and mine is accounting. I worked in corporate America for over 35 years. I retired from 7-Eleven Inc. as an accounting manager and delivered monthly financial statements, analysis, quarterly reporting, annual reporting. So all I have done is now transition both those qualifications and skills in a business that is for me, by us, and it is such a blessing to be able to provide that quality of service in regards to making sure that my company is doing all that it needs to do from a financial perspective. Because as you all know, one of the biggest threats to Black small business is not doing your due diligence and proper reporting, IRS reporting, and having the legal framework in place. So to know that I've come together to provide that as a member of Yellow Bliss Co. and being a partner in that, the pride that exudes from me to know that I'm helping my company not only to launch, but be able to grow exponentially in a space where we have curated products that are being designed by an engineer. Ola is an engineer, an architect. Yeah, an architect. And
okay, speak that, honey. Tell
yes, yes.
okay?
And she has, and I'm gonna let her address that. But when you look at it and being able to bring that talent and ability and transition into another area that you can still deliver, it's phenomenal. It really is. And I think we don't respect and appreciate that enough either in regards to what small businesses bring to the table in regards to their own operation of their business and their vision and their goal and objective of really making it a very profitable e-commerce business. Our business is e-commerce.
Yes.
I think what you said about, bringing our expertise is important for the people who are listening to this. When we talk about small businesses, one of the things that Nefertari had touched on is, our biggest issue with all small businesses, not just specifically Black owned businesses, is funding. That's with any business. You're starting off something, that's always a big issue. Then you multiply that by 10 when you're dealing with people of color. But what we did strategically, because we knew that was an obvious obstacle, is we teamed up with people, not just because we needed money so that they can buy in, but because we needed specific expertise. And so I think that any person who's thinking about becoming, starting a small business, they should consider partnering, that you are able to. There's an African proverb about that, about if you want to move further along, you want to go together, right?
Right.
So I think it was important. We were not necessarily, because we didn't ask for a lot of equity, like monetary, in order to do this, because we were more interested in, look, I'm only the creative, okay? I'm just a creative. That's my thing. That's my expertise. I don't know how to do accounting.
Right. You're not gonna do no spreadsheets.
I am not doing spreadsheets. I'm not interested in it.
Right.
Susan is a money person. Everybody has their own different expertise. We have suppliers. We have person who's doing production. That's their expertise. And so we were strategic in making sure that if this is going to be successful, we need to bring a diverse group. That was important to us. So it's not all Black. We have someone who's Lebanese. We have someone who's South Asian. We have someone who's Peruvian. We have African American. I am Nigerian American. And so we intentionally did that because we wanted to truly be all inclusive, all encompassing, all diverse, and everybody bringing in their expertise. So when we combine, man, it is a force to be reckoned with, right? It's a force to be reckoned with. So, absolutely. And then it's this, unfortunately with our people, there's always this negative connotation with the service that we bring.
Right.
So we wanted to be one of the leading experts in setting the precedence that no, we can be people of color and we can bring professionalism. We can bring good quality. We can bring creativity beyond measure because, like you said, we are rich.
Yes.
I can get all political, and I don't know how political I can get on this.
Honey, do it, because this is a conversation that needs to be had, and we should not be afraid to have it.
It needs to be had, but if we want to be absolutely truthful, we know Africa in itself, the motherland, is rich beyond comprehension,
Speak
right?
that. Yes.
And that's why you see the colonizers come in. That's why you see, you know, genocides happening. That's why you see, you know, people from the outside world come in
Yeah.
and take those
Take it.
resources and
Mhm.
colonize and bring people back to other countries to enslave. You know, that's why you see those type of things.
Yeah.
And now, as an African myself, I'm also seeing another, like a second rape going on right now
Mhm.
in different
Speak to it.
countries of Africa.
Yes.
Seriously. So
Speak to it.
so
Yes.
we are rich. We are rich. And I'm glad that I am now in a generation where we are beginning to understand our magic, you know, where we're beginning to understand our worth. We're beginning to understand that everybody wants to be like us, right? Everybody wants to be like us. So,
Yeah.
and the reality is, the first we can go all into it, like all into it. The first being was a black woman. Okay, that's actually statistically proven. I'm not even talking about boasting ourselves. So that's just a reality that we are superior in so many ways, but unfortunately have been lied to over generations about our worth, about what we bring to the
Yeah.
table. But it's important to sort of bring a level of professionalism
Yes.
and prove that we can do something that is
Yeah.
thriving and successful when we come together. And so I think that if we have something like that, that's why I'm like, whoever is listening to this, take cues on what and how we did it, which is considering bringing expertise. Don't feeling like not feeling like you have to do it or have that burden to do it yourself. To start anything yourself, it's difficult. It's really hard to start a venture just by yourself. It's difficult, let alone putting a diverse group together and doing that. With very, but that's how we were able to get the funding to be able to create that. With Yellow Bliss Co, it's unprecedented. You can go. We've done a lot of research. We were very
Mhm.
meticulous. We had been planning this for 2 years, and we looked around and saw what our competition was offering. We realized, first of all, there were not a lot of offering for children's party. So that was a good a gap for us to enter, right? When you're a small business owner, if you're starting a small business, especially you're a person of color, you really have to think about an actual need, right? You saw when the pandemic hit, people who were smart immediately started selling face masks, right? People were pivoting. For me, I was in the events industry prior to Yellow Bliss Co. I still am, and there were no more parties. So no more parties. There's nothing going to happen. I started selling masks because I'm trying to survive. I'm trying to be resilient through this whole
Right.
process. You do what
Yes.
you need to do. You
Right.
find a pain point, and you capitalize on that opportunity. And Yellow Bliss Co. we realized there was nothing for children. We live in a microwave world where everybody wants stuff instantly. So we needed to go ahead and use that opportunity and capitalize on it. And
Right.
so if you're thinking about a small business, you're trying to think about what to get into, think about an actual gap, an actual pain point. Do the research. Just don't go in and start something and then you wonder why it didn't last. Why didn't it work out? Because you didn't do your due diligence. You didn't do your research, right?
Mhm.
And
Right.
then we realized that, wait a minute, if you like looked at watched the news, see what everything was covering, you saw that during the pandemic, pets, all the shelters, all the adopting for pets locations were you couldn't find pets anywhere because people were adopting pets for emotional support,
Mhm.
right? Did you notice
Right.
that? And
Yes.
so we were like, wait a minute, why don't we start pet parties to celebrate, these these fur babies that were giving us so much joy, right?
Right.
And so we're actually the only party in a box that caters to pets. So if you have a pet, and usually people who have pets go all extra. I mean, you just love all your pets beyond comprehension. You will be shocked. I didn't know. Like I didn't know how much I would go all out for our bunny. We adopted a bunny. Same here during COVID. It would have never been a concept. It would have never been a concept if it wasn't because of COVID. And we love on that bunny. I bought my bunny a cottage. I'm not joking.
Bunny
I'm
kaiju.
not joking. I am not. I bought her a yellow cottage for $110.
Okay.
And all she goes in there, and go in there, and all she does is scratch on it and rip all the thing apart. You know? She don't even stay. She don't even use it. But we were the only ones to come up with that. We have 10 themes, purity themes, for people who want to celebrate, the fur babies that bring joy to your household. And she has been a joy since that really helped, during that difficult time, particularly last year when this pandemic first hit, you know? And so once again, looking at the gap, doing the research, right? And then using that opportunity to capitalize on it.
Yeah. And another thing too, you touched on quite a few things, you and Nora in particularly. And I have a lot of different business clients that I deal with when they get in trouble, since I'm a tax attorney. But
okay, okay. This is good to know.
Well, one critical thing though, which I think you all have done right, is have somebody with expertise in the financial area, right? Because a lot of times what happens is people can have all these great ideas. They identified a gap in the market, and the demand is out there for their particular product or their particular services, and then they launch their business and they go out there, but they don't necessarily take into consideration putting in the financial structure for that business. So they just kind of just going along, and you talking about, and they pulling some receipts here, or they pulling their bank statements and all this other kind of stuff, but it's not any type of organized professional manner, let alone a financial knowledge on there in terms of how to do it most effectively, and how to even really truly measure whether you are really making money. Because most people just feel like, oh, if I'm positive in my bank account, I must be making money with my business. But they haven't put in the right measures. So I just think that I just want to applaud you all, for doing that, because I think that's definitely something that we're missing. You hear a lot about people starting businesses, and even as us as Black women, our rate of growth in starting businesses over the last 3 years has skyrocketed, but our revenue has not kept up, has not been the same, right? Because we haven't kept an eye on the revenue in a consistent manner and set up the right financial structures, in terms of the bookkeeping and counting and that type of thing. So that's something that's really that you all have been proactive about, and I really want to applaud you. And it's an example for other businesses to follow too. You don't have to have everything ironed out, but those key things of making sure that if you are a business, which means you want to make money,
I think what also
you gotta have a structure in place to measure how much money you're making.
Absolutely. And I think for us, what really helped is that most of us are entrepreneurs anyway. So and we started by ourselves. So we went through all the mistakes, and through those mistakes, those are really not mistakes, those are lesson learned, right? And so not to repeat it again. And so because we do have quite a few of us who are CEOs or of our own businesses, Nora included, we were able to figure it out. It's like, this is not what we're going to do this time. And the reality is they gauge it when they tell you. I've had business coaches, I've had financial strategists talk to me and show me the ropes and everything. They tell you within 3 to 5 years, if the business is not successful, you need to nix it. Don't keep trying to keep.
Can you say that again? Say that.
You need within 3 to 5
people
years.
Be like 10 years, you still doing the same thing, you ain't made no money.
You can't keep struggling. Okay, if you're 10, 15 years, you're still struggling, that is not the right business for you. Something is wrong. The goal, they tell you that the pivotal point is the 5-year mark. If within 5 years you're not making a profit, you need to let it go. And it's okay, because at least you know what to gauge it with. None of us who are entrepreneurs, even people like Bill Gates or Steve Jobs when he was still alive, all of these people, how they started. Look at Netflix now. Look at Netflix before, when Blockbuster was. I remember when Netflix was, you send a seat, they send you a DVD over, you rent it, you send it and everything. And I saw a quote just today. It's so funny. where they were asking one of the, I think the presidents or the owner, somebody in the upper level, about how they feel about Netflix. This is Blockbuster. And they were saying that they did not feel any type of competition with Netflix. And 2 years later, they filed bankruptcy.
Right. Yeah.
2 years later.
Yeah, and I think the other value proposition of ensuring that you are doing your due diligence from a financial framework is that oftentimes if you want someone, even when you get a angel investor, they want to know, what are you doing? Show me your financials. And if you're trying to rig financials and, well, I got a bank account and what goes in goes back out, go out where? I mean, if you're not really tracking and you're not setting up a budget projection, sales projections of where you want to be in 12 months, where you want to be in 18 months, what is your break-even point? And then also, I think another pitfall that small businesses, Black-owned businesses specifically do, every dime that they make, they want to take it out. Yeah. They don't want to reinvest back into their business. Yeah. When you are a startup business, there are sacrifices that you have to make, and you have to be intentional about that up front. That in order for me to grow this business, it's going to take some sacrifice, not only commitment of financial investment, but also in regards to your expertise and help to be a partner and to build the business. Not necessarily equal giving, but equal sacrifice. And that's what I love about Yellow Bliss. All of us may not have equal financial investment in the company, but we do have equity in regards to the sacrifice that we're making to make sure that Yellow Bliss is going to be a successful e-commerce business. And I think that is something you have to agree upon up front. And as Ola also mentioned, the professionalism. Oh my God, this is a thing that I treasure about our business. We don't treat our business as if it's just, any little old thing. When we come into our meetings, we are prepared to conduct business.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. We hold ourselves accountable, to ourselves. We come in with an action plan. We come in with deliverables and accountability. And we talk about where are we? We have monthly meetings that we talk about where are we strategically in our planning stages? Where are we? What are we going to do the next? What is the expectations? What are we going to do in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? And you're coming in and you're conducting business. And I think, and you have to have that business mindset in order to be successful. You can't come in like, oh, what's happening, y'all? What y'all go do today? No, that is not that's not how you build a viable business. And I think we lose that sometimes. We think, oh, well, I can come in being my authentic self. No, you better come in being your business self. Okay. Your authenticity
might be.
Yeah, it may not be where it needs to be. I know these are buzzwords that are in the workplace. Can I be my authentic self? Yeah, if you're about business, but don't come in here, just thinking, going along to get along and not be serious about what you're really trying to do. We are serious business owners, and the way you treat your business is the way other people are going to treat you.
Right.
And treat your business.
Absolutely. First of all, Susan, the CEO, will quickly have a meeting with you, like real quick. She will set up a meeting real quick,
Right.
and say, hey, we need to talk about this. We need to have a meeting so we can talk about this. So that is like zero tolerance for that because we don't want to fail. I mean, Nora has talked about all the things that you need to do, but I also can't necessarily fault, our people for always falling into those pitfalls, because I think financial literacy is very important. Right. And that's something that's lacking in our community, right? It's not our fault. It's almost a generational thing, right? Financial literacy. If that was there, I don't think we will keep on, going through that vicious cycle of keep repeating stuff. Another thing that I see is that a lot of us are super talented. We are very talented. I mean, we really are magical.
Very.
But when it comes to customer service or professionalism, it's always lacking. I think that people get so confident in the talent that they provide that they lack in trying to provide a customer, because they feel like, well, people are going to come to me anyway because I'm the one who makes the best food, at this, restaurant or whatever. And we can't do that. Or I see this when I go get my hair, when I used to go get my hair braided. You go down to these African, hairstylists, and they're shouting and screaming while they're doing your hair and spitting in your head, and I'm just like, this is not. Or they tell you, okay, come in at 10, but they don't show up till 12, and they still expect you to pay them that same money and give them a tip. You can't do that. You cannot do that. You cannot sustain a business that way, because people, if you are a true business person and you want something to be continuous, you want longevity in something, you have to think about tomorrow. So in everything, anytime you're servicing someone, you have to think about them being turn and repeat clients, not just one time. And a lot of us only think about it like one time, and so I just think those type of things need to be addressed, because we are talented, but we need to, and it's people who don't bring in that level of professionalism that makes us look bad. And so now we actually feel obligated when we have a company like Yellow Bliss Co, to nix those stereotypes about our people. We are not all like that, and we need to. I think if people of color also see what we are doing, I believe we are the first people of color, that is doing something as high end as a premium. I don't like to say high end because people immediately think it's expensive, but it's not. We did
but it is
once again
high end, and let me say, I applaud you for saying high end, because again, we have to also remember that high end does cost money. And again, if we are spending $1 trillion in the world, people are spending $1 trillion because you're paying $300 for a pair of shoes that are high end. And so when it's important to you, then you invest your money. And so if you want a party, that where the party's at, and you want that party to look high end, guess what? Cough up those dollars. And if you don't want to be shopping at Party City and Amazon, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, all these different places, because see, people forget that I just want to plug somebody really quick. I do want to plug Rachel Rogers. She's like, we should all be millionaires. This concept of, you making broke decisions, right? And the broke decisions that you make is because you focus on money. You make decisions because you think you're going to be broke, right? So you'll go out and spend $30 at Dollar Tree, $2 at Amazon, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't factor in your time and your gas. And so we have to stop thinking of doing things in a broke way. You saved $30, but you spent $100 on gas and your time, because 5 hours a day, time is money,
and stress.
Money, right?
Add stress to that. Time, gas, and stress.
Yes.
You know how stressful it is to plan a party.
Yes, it's very stressful.
Have you tried to go down to Party City and then you need to get the balloons blown and then try putting that in your car? God forbid you come and you don't have an SUV.
Get the balloons in the car after it's blown up, and you're in a 4-seater, and you don't have an SUV.
That's what I'm talking about.
Then you have to call your girlfriend.
Anybody who has put a party together understands these type of stresses. You don't think about it until you're actually putting it together. First of all, it's taking you maybe 3 weeks to a month or even longer to put a party together. When you could have just gone click, yellowblissco.com, pick something and just be done, right?
And the holidays are coming up, speaking of. So I'm going to lead into that.
There's stress.
Yes,
I mean, when we started this, when we were curating the looks, Susan, our CEO, was like, we have to do balloons. I'm like, no, We're not doing balloons.
Right.
Because I was traumatized.
Right.
These balloons that I had to put inside my car when it blow, right? You can't see nothing. You can't see the rear window, nothing, because you have these balloons in the back.
Right.
But the solution we came up with, like, okay, if you're going to have balloons, then we're going to put the balloons inside our party in a box. We're going to put not only the balloons, but we're going to put the balloon pump, because who wants to be blowing balloons? Who wants to do that?
Love that.
Everything is thought about, because if you are a parent or even a person who likes to throw a good, beautiful party, you know all the stresses that comes with that. So why not nix all of that? And we did do a lot of research. We did ask people how much they spend on an average party. And it is usually double to triple the amount of what we are selling these boxes for. So why wouldn't you go? Because if you actually end up, people think that, okay, if I'm buying things, itemized things, then I'm saving money. No, not necessarily. Because by the time you put all of those things together, plus your gas, just as you mentioned, plus your time, plus all that stress, you spent the same amount, and you could have gotten everything plus even the faux flowers. We give you the flowers. We give you the tablecloth. We give you all the
website up again.
Where's that website? YellowBlissCo.com.
That's right,
we give
honey.
you everything. Everything. You do not have to. We give you table runners. We even give you party favors. You know, when you throw children's parties, you have to go get the party favors separate. But we have been so strategic in thinking about all the things that you need to put together to put a party for your child. We even come up with the party favors that is to match your actual theme, right? We have things for the boys. We have things for the girls. You know, usually, especially if you have a boy, and I have a boy, I have 2 girls and I have a boy. And there's more options for the girls than the boys. Why is that? That's not right. You know?
Right, because I have 4 sons. Okay. They need some more options.
So you know, they need some more options.
Yes.
And so, of course, we made sure we made sure that we curated themes that can go there, like gender neutral, can go boy, girl. We did girls, and then we also did the boys. We did stuff for the girly girls, and we did it in such a way, once again, thinking about the future, because we want this to be sustainable. A lot of our options can easily cross over to adults. And we are finding that the people who are interested in buying our items are not just children, but mothers who want to do a baby reveal or a gender reveal or a baby shower. And I'm like, wow, this is great. This is exactly what we want. And we are so excited, because we're not even showing all of the themes that we already have. We are not showing that. Yet we have 20 already. People think, wow, 20 that's a lot of options. We have more options already.
That's right.
And we're just gonna be spinning it out and do something that's truly for our people.
Yes.
For the diversity, how America should really be. That's what we're going to do. And that's why we're strategic in making sure we partner with people of color, but different beyond just Black folks, right? Yes. That's why we did that. So we are going to be celebrating everyone's culture. And when we look around, there isn't a lot of options.
That's right. You're absolutely correct. I'm excited about that. Again, not just because you all had came together to create a party in a box, but because you came together and you said that we can win collectively. And I think that what people forget is that, again, as a collective, we are communal as people of color. Very communal. So when you come together, there will always be success at the end of the table. It's when you feel like I can do this independently. I don't need other people to help me get to the top. Yes, you do, because you can't even climb a ladder without other steps. Okay, so can we say that again? You can't climb a ladder without other steps. That's right. Absolutely. So everybody has to be a part of the process in order for us, again, to support Black businesses and keep moving forward. So congratulations. We are so excited. I know Nefertari had something. She wanted to say something.
Oh, I just wanted to say this. I mean, this is like fabulous. I don't even think I fully understood what you guys are doing, because I was still on Ms. Nora's business, because I know she did event planning and all of that. I'm like, wait a minute, a party in a box? Like, like, okay, I've been to the website, I done looked at everything, and I'm just like amazed. Like, it's really awesome.
Thank you.
When you talk about making that pivotal turn, with COVID, a lot of people, a lot of businesses have been able to do that based on, it's like, what is the need for the people, like you said. And this is awesome. This is great. And for me, being a person that does event planning and all of that, I'm learning from you too. So I'm like, this is like great, you know. So I just say, I'm definitely appreciative of you all. I just want to encourage you and push you to keep going. You know, I even loved it that, it's like we got more, like it doesn't stop here.
Yes,
we got more.
Keep going. And to talk about, that one thing you talked about is so important. That it's not just one of you. You know what I'm saying? You've got several people on your team with expertise, and that is just the way to do it to get by. I mean, like you said, all of you all have been through it personally, so you know about your pluses and minuses, your times of failure, but you get back up and keep moving. And I know about that too. And so I know you do need to form a team. Like, right, Miss Get It Done, you know about that too.
Okay, that part. Okay. We are a team in and of ourselves. And I love it how, again, you have your own business, and then collectively you come together and do something together. I love that concept. So again, we are so proud of you all, Yellow Bliss Co. We're hoping that because it's the holidays, we're encouraging everyone to go to www.yellowblissco.com and look on there, because again, we are a people that, although there's holidays, you don't have to stick to tradition. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you can go and get that, those different types of looks for the holidays that are coming up, for people who celebrate Christmas, for people who celebrate New Year's. Just imagine busting out New Year's with that light blue, teal, 10 set. That set. I love that set. You know what I'm saying? But just thinking of it, like, yes, that's my color. So it's like, oh, okay, I can use this set and I can do this and this. And of course, again, you can just order it in a box. And I appreciate that you all have it now, because we know that there are shortages all over the place. But if you go to Yellow Bliss Co., there's no shortage there, honey. Okay? So don't spend your money with Party City. I'm sorry, Party City, but I ain't sorry. Okay? Don't spend your money at Dollar Tree. Stop spending up all that gas. That's too much right now. Tell Dollar General you holler at them later, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to spend your money at yellowblissco.com. And again, if you did not hear, they send you the flowers. We love curated events. We are people that we curate events because of our culture, our experience, our love for one another, our community. And so we love curated events, and I'm encouraging everyone to go out and definitely purchase from Yellow Bliss Co. And so over the holidays, let's get that website on and popping, everybody, okay? Do you all have any final words before we go out?
No, I think, thank you so much for, inviting us. We really appreciate it. Sorry that Susan wasn't able to make it today. I know she was traveling, so I'm sure she's just super exhausted. But visit yellowblissco.com, become a member, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are always doing giveaways because we just launched literally on Veterans Day. And so we are hoping that people, just sign up, because you never know, you might win a party box.
Yeah, that part. I know I'm signing up. I think I already did sign up.
Yeah, I want my party box.
Just in case.
Absolutely.
No, I really appreciate the opportunity of you allowing us to come on and really share our new business venture, e-commerce business opportunity. And yes, Yellow Bliss Co. I am so grateful to Ola and to Susan, who were the creative minds that started Yellow Bliss Co. And I'm just really excited about being a part of this wonderful team. And all I want to say is that we all hope we'll see everybody at the top.
That's right. Yes. Think that, honey. That's think right. That, because it's more than enough room for everybody. It's more than enough money for everybody to make millions. Okay, we can all eat. We can all eat. That's right. That's right. Oh, I'm so excited. So again, thank you so much, Crown Nation, for joining us tonight. We want to remind you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And as we are closing out, let me see if Nafisa has any final words before we close out.
Oh my goodness. I just want to say thank y'all for coming on and sharing your business with everyone, with our audience. I mean, it's a different type of business who you normally don't think about, but it's definitely a need for it. So
Yes.
I just appreciate you all coming on and sharing with us. Thank you so much.
All right, excellent. And I'm hoping again that we will see and be invited to some parties that have some laid out Yellow Bliss Co. Stuff on their tables. All right. So we'll see you all next time. And Sarah, you want to say something?
I was just going to ask one question. How did you guys come up with your business name?
So I came up with the name because once again, I'm the creative, for all the ideas, anything creative, design, that's my territory. I can't do money, and I can't do anything else. But it was just a nostalgia as a childhood, I loved watching The Wizard of Oz. And you remember the part where they talk about follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. So I'm like, and when you think of yellow, you think of happiness in children. When you think of bliss, it's still happiness. It could be even weddings and blissfulness. So I thought Yellow Bliss Co was the proper name, because when you think yellow, automatically I think it evokes a feeling of happiness.
I love it. It has a nice ring to it. I love it.
Yeah, the Yellow Bliss Co. That's why we say hashtag follow the Yellow Bliss Co. Like follow the Yellow Brick Road. Follow the Yellow Bliss Co.
I love it.
Beautiful.
Love that. Love that. Again, thank you all so much. And we will see you on the other side. Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.